So in this video, I'm going to show you a real-time scenario on which I have worked on in my SAP project. So the client had ECC in their landscape but no POPI, and they had another system which was interacting with SAP using MuleSoft. It could have been an IBM WebSphere or any API management tool, but then we have to create a web service from ECC with authentication to interact with the third-party API without having PIPO. So that's what we did, and let's see how we created a function group module and exposed it to the third party using the SOA manager. Okay, now we will create a function group. Let's go to transaction SEAT. Let's give a function group name starting with Z because it's going to be a custom one. Yes, and then short text, which is basically like the description of the function group. Let's save it. It will ask for a package. You can give any one. I have a specific package for all my function groups. And then save. This is my transport request. You can store it locally also. And now let's activate the function group. Right, done. So now once function group is done, we're going to create a function module. So SE37. Let's copy the function group name. Let's give a Z or a Y one. I just give a Z one for the custom function module. This is going to be the one where we will do the actual coding. Let's create it, give the function group name which we copied, and a shock test, which is again like a description of the function module. And save it. Just press yes. Okay, so now we will create the input parameters. These are the parameters which we're going to accept data inside the module, like string 1. Let's give the type as char20. And in function modules which are RS enabled, all the parameters have to be passed by value. Same for string 2, char20. Again, pass by value. And let's go to the output parameter starting with EX. Let's make it final response, and then the type again char20. This is going to be a bit longer, like char50 maybe, and then again pass by value. Just save it, and let's make it RFC enabled. Yep, syntax check, activate. And now we are going to write the source code, which is going to be very simple one, where we are going to concatenate the incoming string 1 and string 2. Concatenate string 1, string 2 into output parameter separated by a space. Yep, let's check the syntax and activate, and let's do a quick test. Let's enter string 1 as new second New York, and let's test it. It should be New York. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So now our function module is ready. Now let's expose it as a web service. Let's go to more utilities from function module. Yes. Now we are going to give the name as service definition. Again, starting with Y or Z. Let's select Z here. Okay. Yeah. And then again a description. copy. Next. So the function module is the same one on which we are working. I'll go to next. And we are going to make the authentication as a user ID password one. Yep. And the same we are going to pass it when we are going to call the web service. Package again, you can give any. I have few packages with me which I use regularly. Task, you can create in a test system or save it as a local one. Next. It's finished. Yep. Let's just save it, check it, and activate it. All good. Now we are going to test this web service locally. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Now let's give the same input as new string 1 and string 2 as York. Okay, and then test it. There you go, New York. So now function group is ready, function module is ready. Let's go to SOA Manager by using the transaction SOA Manager. It's going to open my default browser here, which is Internet Explorer. I will just copy the link and then close IE. I'm going to go to Chrome and there I'm going to copy the link and it's going to open SOA Manager, which is actually a ABAP Web Pro application. Let's enter the same SAP username and password. And let's go to web service configuration and enter the service name which we created. That's the one, search it, and we're going to select this one. Let's click on create service. We are just going to give the same name just to keep it simple. Uh, Description. And we can have a different branding name, but as I said, let's just keep it simple and give the same one. And let's go down and select the same option of username, password. Yes, the one which you selected in the ECC backend. Let's go to next. Just keep the defaults as it is. Next. Yeah, no change. Let's finish. Finish. Yep. And let's activate. Okay. Yep. And now let's generate the WSDL, which is required for the client side. I think it would be somewhere down. Yep, that's it. Let's copy this WSDL and let's check it. Let's open it in a browser. Let's have a new tab. Copy same username password required again. Yeah, there you go. So this is a WSDL. Let's just save it. Change the XML document to all files so that we can give the extension as WSDL. Save. So now we have the WSDL. Let's go to a SOAP testing client, SoapUI. Let's download the open source one, not the ready one. I have already downloaded it, so I'm not going to install it again. And I'm going to open it on my system so that I can test and create a project. So to create a new project, we will go to file, new SOAP project, and and then let's give a project name and then select the WSDL which we created, where it was. I think it was in downloads folder. Let's select the one and open it. I think it should create a project on its own, yes, and also generated the request for us to test. Let's fill the same parameters which we used in ECC, new as string 1 and York as string 2. And we also need the authentication. Remember, we have to add the user ID and password. So we give the basic authentication. Let's enter the same SAP username and your password, and then make a request with this. Yes. Okay, great. So let's see it in the XML format. New York, there you go. So now let's see how we can do monitoring in SOA Manager. So let's go back to the main page, and then let's see where are the traces. I think it's in a different tab. There you go, logs and traces. Let's go to runtime traces and let it open. Okay, so message monitor. No, this is like SXMB Moni, not this one. Yeah, traces. Let's select it for our user, and we are going to probably do maybe a payload trace. It's empty now. Let's activate the trace, save the configuration, and it's empty now. So we have to do make a new request. Let's go back to SoapUI. Let's change it a bit. Maybe make it Jersey. Yeah, and we have to run it again. Yep, let's go to XML format. Yep, New Jersey. So now it should have a payload trace. Refresh. Let's refresh it. Yep, let's select this one and go to the details. Okay, so here we see a lot of different rows of request and response. Here we can see the string to response, and so we have to do some digging around. Maybe like check each row. This has the output, this has the input, um, response, request. You get the idea. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we have to just check all the rows and see. Okay, yeah, this one contains both string one and string two, and also the output. So yeah, we yep. So we saw how did we expose a function group function module to a third-party system which was using MuleSoft. It could have been IBM WebSphere or any API management tool as a web service. The client in this case didn't have POPI or CPI and still was able to expose the ECC functionality using a web service through SOA Manager. So do like, subscribe, and share this video so that I can make more videos on the real-time scenario which I face in my projects. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you.